All right, this is Mark Klopacki from the Sauk Centre Herald. I'm visiting with the state champion in the 4x400 relay. Fellas, Matthew, you're a senior state champion. Talk about your emotions.
Honestly, after the race finished, I just said so many times this isn't real or this is just crazy. We set the goal a couple years or 2 years ago before the start of last season to win it. I honestly had my doubts. I had my doubts all the way from last year to this year, but we made it happen.
Logan, you kind of predicted this in kind of a Snapchat a couple of years ago. You want to elaborate a little bit about that?
Yeah, so about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I made a group chat of us four with also Jacob in it, and titled it 2026 State Champs. And maybe that might have been a stretch back then, but we're here today and we got it done. So.
All right, Gabe, you start out the relay. What's your goal starting out for the 4x4?
When I'm getting into the blocks, I like to just kind of take a couple deep breaths, kind of mentally prepare myself. I know what I have ahead of me. I know I'm going to be gassed at the end of the race. No matter, even if I don't try, it's going to be tiring. But I try to get out the first 100 as hard as I can. And then the first straight, like to float it a little bit, but keep my momentum. And then the last 200, you're really kicking. And then I feel like that's usually when I make the most passes is in the last 150, 100 meters. That's when I usually start to break the stagger, I feel like, the most. And I always try to get Matthew the baton in first place. And then when I did get it to him there yesterday, I was a little nervous because I gave him a lead, but for me, I knew I could have done better. It wasn't as much as I wanted to give him.
Matthew, what was going through your mind keeping the relay in a good position yesterday?
Yeah, well, for me, I know every single time I get the baton from Gabe, I got to get out hard to get in first place after the break line, and I got there. I cut some people off, but we won't talk about that. Just after I get it from Gabe, just try and hold what he gave me. Almost sold, but luckily when I gave it to Zaron, he was able to get ahead, so that was good.
Zaron, just talk a little bit about your challenges, because you ran earlier in the day and then we had some rain delays and kept postponing things. How do you stay mentally focused for when you were up to go?
So yeah, I ran the 4x and then we had like an hour and a half of rain delays. So my legs got a little cold and a little tight, but I knew that I had to keep moving around, keep my legs warm. And as much as I wanted to watch all the other races, because watching finals, watching other people compete is really fun. But at the end of the day, I have another race. I have another race that we could win, and we ended up doing that. So I knew I just had to stay locked, listen to music, stay under the tent, away from rain, keep my legs warm, and that's just what I ended up doing.
And Logan, obviously to finish for the second relay of the day, how did you fend off the competition down the stretch?
Honestly, just my teammates, they just gave me the lead, and that's all that mattered. I just knew that I just got to hold what my teammates were giving me, and we'd get it done. And, Matthew might have said he almost sold, but he did exactly what he needed to do. And Zaron just continued to make that lead bigger, and I just tried to do what I could hold on to that.
Matthew, when did ever throughout the year you think we could be state champions?
Oh yeah, for sure. After last year's performance, knowing we returned all 4 guys after we got 5th last year, I definitely knew it was a possibility. But obviously with the city teams, you just have no idea what they're going to throw out there. But I knew it was a possibility, and after prelims, definitely had much more confidence going into finals, and we were able to pull it off.
Zaron, you run all year. It's been cold all year, and now you finish your season as a state champ. Talk about, do you feel like the hard work paid off?
Yeah, I definitely did. Running all those days, going after school, working hard, it definitely paid off.
Logan, state champ in 2 different events. What's that like?
It's amazing. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to choose anybody else to be state champ with. So just such a cool experience, and, so much more to come.
Congratulations, fellas.
Thank you.